All right, we got Scarlett Food Paul Sweeney. We're live here in our Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio. We're streaming live on YouTube as well. Tim Craighead, Global Chief Content Officer for Bloomberg Intelligence. He's been one of the leaders from day one for Bloomberg Intelligence, this little experiment in investment research that we've done here at Bloomberg. He's run businesses for us in Hong Kong, London, New York, so he's been all over. Based in London right now, but he's here in New York, so we figured we'd get him in studio to talk about some of the research coming out of Bloomberg Intelligence. Tim, I know you guys publish time to time kind of, hey, here are 10 companies we really think you should pay attention to. We think we've got some insights into some of these companies. Maybe we've identified some catalysts that investors can keep an eye out for that might move these stocks one way or the other. What are you guys looking at these days?
So I'll put it into just a little bit of context, if that's okay.
Yep.
So we have a broad set of what we call focus ideas. And these are high conviction, bottom up, fundamentally oriented calls on companies where we see something that the market doesn't seem to get, and that there are catalysts ahead that can change the market mentality. There's about 125, 130 of these things globally across all sectors right now. And at the beginning of every quarter, we'll zero in on 10 where we think that there are catalysts ahead right now in the upcoming quarter. A lot of that will revolve around, it could be a new product announcement, it could be earnings results that really hit home on a given element. But yeah, that's the context.
Yep. I'm going to ask Matt Miller's wiring in and saying, hey, ask about Ferrari, because that's one of the names on the list. And Michael Dean, our auto analyst, he covers all those cool European automakers. What's he think about Ferrari here?
Yeah, it's interesting because Ferrari's got a couple of things going on. Right up front, there are important new cars coming, new models. The F80 is their next big supercar. You've got the Luce, L-U-C-E,
okay,
which is their full electric that's coming out. And those are two of 20 odd models that are coming through over the course of the next 3 years. But importantly, these are now starting to ramp, and we think that when you get in and see the next earnings reporting period, you will see the impact. It is interesting because it's a broader issue with the European autos where there was such high hopes about EV transition and China being a big market, and both of those turned pear-shaped.
Wow.
And so last year was a big issue. Look at any of these guys, Ferrari, BMW, et cetera. And we think Ferrari is looking to accelerate, no pun intended.
Here in the U.S., and folks, you can tell from Tim's accent, he's from down south, but he's been all over the world. Here in the U.S., Tim, you've probably heard the EV things kind of stalled out. I'm being generous there, calling stall out. How about in the rest of the world?
Yeah, it's interesting. We just published our semi-annual buyer survey that we do, one in US, one in Europe, one in Asia. And in Europe, it really does depend on the home market. Scandinavia still cares about EVs, no surprise.
Yep.
Germany, give me a petrol, gasoline-based engine. Generally speaking, there's more appetite for hybrids across Europe than what was full-on plug-in electric vehicles. And clearly over here, it's all about gasoline. And if you're going to do electric, you're going to do a hybrid. You're not going to do a battery electric.
Yeah, for my final offspring, he goes to school in California where gas is like $6 a gallon. So we got him the hybrid, and it's been perfect.
Well, I've got a battery electric. I love it. But
you do,
I live in London.
In London, yeah. So talk to us just broadly, and kind of related topic, just ESG in general, environmental sustainability, governance, all that kind of stuff. Hit a brick wall here in the U.S., but I understand that's not the case in Europe and some other parts.
Yes and no. So there's a series of client events that I get involved with on an ongoing basis that go around Europe along with my team. And speaking of Scandinavia, that's the heart and soul of ESG, who adopted it most aggressively. They don't call it ESG anymore.
Okay.
They call it sustainable finance or sustainability. It's generally under that moniker. And you could say, oh, you're just changing names.
Yep.
But it's about managing companies well. And part of this is management, governance. Part of it is social issues. Part of it is environmental. And I think it seems to be making a move towards actually, don't call it ESG and tick a box, which was kind of the thing before. Think about how this is a way that you can actually manage a company better. And that actually is good for shareholder returns. And we've done some pretty interesting work. There's a report actually the team here, our BI team here, had put out about ESG 2.0. And that is all about actually driving better companies.
Tim, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. It's got to be important if he's leaves London to come to New York here, so I'm sure they get some big muckety-muck meetings here in New York City. Tim Craighead, big player for us at Bloomberg Intelligence, giving us some of the top ideas coming out from Bloomberg Intelligence. Again, you can find that at BI Go on the terminal. That'll get you everything you need to know about Bloomberg Intelligence. 2,000 companies, 120 industries, equity, credit. They do it all, and that's good stuff for our clients.